slashers and scream queens, and welcome to the Horror Daddies Podcast,
A podcast where we talk about horror movies.
and the daddies and
And this is a Merry Late Christmas.
Merry late Christmas,
For y'all.
Happy New Year for y'all, because this is our New Year's episode.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yes, so our final episode of 2022. I forgot the year we were in for a second. And we are now heading into 2023.
Wow. Very exciting. Again, I'm your film daddy, John.
And I'm your horror daddy, Carlos.
And we want to thank you for all your support in 2021.
Yes.
We love you very much. We appreciate it. Every time y'all write us something, it's anything. Literally, we appreciate it so much.
Also, excuse me for wearing I'm wearing Christmas pajamas because it was technically Christmas 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
It's no longer Christmas, but this is when we're recording. So, hey guys.
And look at my shirt. It's fucking malignant, bro.
Yeah. We stand malignant on this podcast.
Hell yeah, brother.
So, with that being said, go watch Malignant.
Thank you, HBO Max.
Yeah, but also watch the movie we did today, The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
What a ride that movie is.
I love this movie. It was directed, written, and starring Jim Cummings.
Everybody's coming in this movie.
But I chose this movie because one, it takes place during the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it ends at New Year's Day.
Yeah. So the theme is there.
Yeah.
They technically today, the 26th, happened.
Could be
in
the day
movie.
that the movie starts. We don't know.
We don't know.
Because there's like some Christmas tree lights here and there, but then when we get to the ending, it's like New Year's is happening as the ending is happening because there's fireworks and stuff, and then he says Happy New Year right before that.
Yeah, and it's winter, like he said. There's a lot of snow, and it was colder than a witch's tit in here.
And it
was like 30 degrees.
So I was feeling the temperature in the movie. I was feeling it. It's cold as fucking Florida right now.
And I know y'all motherfuckers up north. Oh, ew, that's cold. I want to see you survive on 90-degree weather.
It's 38 degrees, and I don't appreciate it. I like it in the 50s and stay in the 50s, but not this. This is too much for me.
That's too much.
I'm from originally Puerto Rico. I can't. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
We're tropical. We don't got to deal with that shit.
Unfortunately, it's too hot all year round. Then we get here, and it's some of the coldest nights. But then when it gets like this, for me, I just can't.
Yeah, we can't do that.
No, but yeah, directed, written, and starring Jim Cummings with a budget of $2 million. So unfortunately, this movie was released on October 9th, 2020. We were in the middle of pandemic, so this movie wasn't widely released. It didn't get a lot of box office. So the box office I do have is only 266,000.
It was streaming for
also,
the majority of it.
So it was only in limited theaters. It also released same day as streaming. And then I didn't get how much it made with DVDs and stuff because I couldn't find out.
Yeah. Which is, it got fucked over. It got fucked over that year.
A lot of movies,
yes,
a lot of movies did, and I feel like this is sad because I really did like this movie. It's about a werewolf, obviously, with the title. Filming took place in Kansas, Utah.
Oh, okay.
I remember when I first saw this, I fell in love with it. I keep saying that.
Yeah.
I just found it very funny. I like the whole twist of the werewolf that is in this movie. I don't want to spoil it just yet.
Yeah, we'll keep it to when we're going down with the movie.
I'll try to.
We'll try, but warning.
I also like that it plays with you who is this werewolf in this movie because it could be the main character or someone else.
Yeah, this movie is a complete murder mystery with a hint of comedy. I mean, not a hint. It's throughout the entire movie. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. I love all these characters. They're so relatable.
So the Jim Cummings in an interview said that he had the ending for just the ending. And that the werewolf came in later.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't even about a wolf at first.
It was just kind of like, this is the theme of it. That's cool. I like that.
So the wolf here is a backseat character. Sorry, y'all, I'm tired. But the scenes with the wolf itself are so good.
They're incredible shots.
It's like, I that's enough for me. But yeah.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
I think this movie is great. I was reading a lot of the 1-star reviews. Y'all motherfuckers need to chill the fuck out.
I know.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
I couldn't find one that I'm like, that I liked or agree with because I just couldn't.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, I like this movie too much, and y'all just haters.
It was just too much. Like, y'all need to calm down. Yeah. But this was my second time watching it. He showed me a while back the movie, and I was like mind blown at the end. I thought it was great. John, which is the main character, super fucking relatable. Like, he is such a fucking asshole. Yeah. But I get it.
Yeah.
He is tired of everyone's shit, and he makes sure to know that you know.
Well, he's also like, okay, so he's an alcoholic.
Of course.
He's struggling with alcoholism.
What?
Alcoholism.
Alcoholism.
Whatever. He has the sheriff is his father, so he's also trying to like
prove himself to
his dad. He doesn't have a great relationship with his daughter. He is also divorced. Mm-hmm. So it's like he's trying but not succeeding, if that makes sense.
And it's like the whole life of like a fuck up. Mm-hmm. Like he feels like a fuck up the entire time.
Yeah.
It's like nothing's going right in his life.
Exactly. So in this movie, we have obviously Jim Cummings as John Marshall. Mm-hmm. We have Ricky Lindholm as Detective Julia Robson. If anyone's seen the show Wednesday, she is the therapist in Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
The blonde therapist. Forgot her name. We have Robert Forster as Sheriff Hadley, who this was his last role before his passing.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. We have Chloe East as Jenna Marshall. That's John's daughter. Mm-hmm. We have Will Madden as Paul Carneri. I can't read, y'all. Annie Hamilton as Brienne Paulson. Let me get my shit together. Jimmy Tatros Daddy as PJ Palfrey. Hannah Edler as Hannah Martin. Kelsey Edwards as Liz Fairchild. Skylar Bible as Officer Gutierrez, another daddy. Ann Sword as Carla. Demetrius Daniels as Officer Chavez. And Kevin Shangies as Officer Bo. And Chase Palmer as Brock. Daniel Fenton Anderson as Coroner Gary, who is honestly great. And that's pretty much our like main cast.
Yeah, those are the main cast. There's a lot of side characters for sure, but
because there's these like little. They're red herrings, obviously, because it's the whole thing is like, who the fuck is this werewolf person? But I also love this movie because it's super smart, and the werewolf is in front of you the whole time, and your mission is to figure it out. And on a rewatch, when you do figure it out, and then you go back, you start seeing all the signs, and you're like, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
And then you go on YouTube, and you see all these motherfuckers finding even more and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening?
I love how smart this movie is. The cinematography is great. The sound design is great.
I love the soundtrack because it's like that typical like boom, 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 and it's so fun. And just the timing of the jokes are so fucking awesome.
Jim Cummings is great.
Yeah, I love it. I love his comedy. I know a lot of people are like, oh, he just screams really loud. It's like, no, he's actually like really funny.
If anyone doesn't know him, if y'all, because I know everyone's seen Halloween Kills. He's the officer that gets murdered at the beginning in the flashback by Michael Myers that says, Haddonfield, the town that never sleeps, and then Michael bum rushes him. That's him.
He's a motherfucker that saw Michael running.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah. So yeah, this movie starts with beautiful shots of snowy mountains. We get our title card of The Wolf of Snow Hollow. The music is very ominous. And then we see some of the town. The shots are going upside down.
It kind of reminded me of The Shining almost. Yeah. Where it's like the hills and all the trees and shit. It kind of reminded me of that.
And it's all snowy, so we know that we're in a winter cold movie. We get the shot of a full moon, and then we meet two of our characters. We meet PJ and girlfriend Brienne. They're there for vacation. They go out to eat dinner, and they do get into a little bit of PJ gets into an argument with these two guys because they say the F slur.
He's an ally
because he gets upset because his brother is gay. And the girlfriend's kind of like uncomfortable with the argument, but then the guy seems kind of suspicious. Then they go back to their Airbnb, and they're having a little sexy time in the jacuzzi.
And honestly, that is so much fun. Like, so I went to Michigan, and there was like snow everywhere, and we went on a jacuzzi. It was kind of fucking cool.
I was gonna say it's too cold outside for me. Dude. That's how I guess. That's why I'm sick right now.
But they're not in a pool; they're in a jacuzzi.
I know, baby, but then you gotta get out of the water, and then the cold hits you, and that's how you get sick.
That's true.
I'm sick because Florida likes to be hot, cold, and we don't do that. That's why I sound like this, so I apologize. and I just like, I need to give y'all an episode. I can't just be like, I'm sick, because then it's like, boo, you whore. And I was like, no, I need to give y'all an episode, so I'm here with my
look at the sacrifices he makes.
Always for y'all, the fans. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
So yeah, so in this shot, I do like this because he's getting a wine bottle ready because he's gonna propose to her, but there's no knives in this kitchen. There's no utensils.
Nothing at all.
Can use. He just finds a couple of wooden chopsticks to open the wine bottle.
He like smacks it. It's like super inconvenient.
And those are clue number 1, or little clues to look out for. That's like, really?
Yeah, put a pin on that.
Yeah, exactly. So then she asked him to go shower. I guess she's gonna go turn off the valve. I think it's of the water. Because
that's what I think too.
I think it makes the water hotter or colder, but it's outside. So
it's like a heater.
Yeah.
But he probably just put it all the way up.
Yeah, because then she sees something and you hear snarling and her eyes are like very shocked. We cut to him and I think it's funny. He's shaving down there.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, that's what
I didn't notice that.
Because,
he's trying to get it.
Honestly, he's so fine.
Yeah, he's pretty great. I used to watch him on YouTube like a long time ago.
I remember him. Yeah.
He used to make like videos all the time, and now he's an actor.
Good for him.
Yeah, great.
Good for him.
He's a pretty good actor too.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
So he walks outside, and his girlfriend's been murdered.
Oh my fucking god, she
fucking
dead.
Mutilated.
Yep. She mutilated.
Yeah. And
I think he comes outside and it's like
he's just screaming, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And then we cut, and there's like a paw print on the floor, and you see the full moon and blood through the paw print of the wolf.
And I love this
shot
movie.
Is beautiful.
But I do love that this movie is so creative with transitions, and movies don't do that anymore.
Nope.
Like it's like very rare. I think the last movie was that I remember having cool transitions was the Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes,
where it's like creative with its transitions. It's like I want more of that.
Jim has a lot of those in this movie.
Yeah,
and I do love when the werewolf attacks are happening. Those cutbacks, they're really funny.
Yeah, they're fucking great. It's like the editing in this movie really is fantastic.
So as that happens, we cut to an AA meeting where we meet our character John, which is played by Jim Cummings, and the first thing he says is, "Hi, I'm John. I'm an alcoholic."
Hi, John.
Yeah. So
so good.
I will say, spoiler right now, John is not the wolf.
Yeah, no.
But he makes you think it is in this. At least I did, because after the attack, the first person we meet is him.
Oh, you think so?
And he's talking about his how he's an alcoholic.
Yeah, like all the problems
he has anger issues.
I love
that. He hates backseat drivers. He hates his wife, and someone's like, because another thing I do love when people are talking to groups, we never see the people in the group.
Oh yeah, and that is really cool.
It's a really artistic choice, and I kind of like it.
I wonder if it's because like they didn't want to pay for extras.
Maybe
it could be,
but if that wasn't the case, I do like the choice.
Yeah, it's great.
Because someone goes, "Oh yeah, someone says something about his wife," and he goes, "Yeah, wolf," and I'm like. Okay, so he's saying,
I can kind of see that
shit like that, and then he says something else that kind of is like wolf related. So I'm like, he says, "I'm trying to focus on the 12 steps, but focus, and not let the monsters inside of you come out." He also says that, and then I'm like, so the whole I'm like, so you are the wolf, and you're the main character, and I feel like the whole movie is that. He does not remember the attacks because he's an alcoholic.
Yeah,
he gets drunk and just goes fucking wolf and kills people.
That would be kind of fun, actually.
So then, he gets distracted because he doesn't hear people upstairs. I found that weird. So that was another thing where I was like, dogs tend to have super hearing. Is he trying to tell us that he,
It could be. But then it cuts back to the crime scene, and that's when we meet the sheriff.
Yeah,
and he does not know what the fuck. He's like, what is happening? He's like The Office. He's like, oh my god, it's fucking happening.
Yep. We also meet Julia and we John again, and then Chavez, who's doing the crime scene. And Chavez lets the sheriff know, like, because the sheriff's like, hey, was there any assault? And he's like, I can't tell you that because that part is missing.
Yeah, where it's like,
so
hint,
the wolf,
motherfucker.
The wolf took the vajay.
Oh god, he ate that pussy up.
Honestly, though, he did.
He did.
He took it.
Am I lying?
No, you're not lying. You're not lying, baby. You're not lying.
But the sheriff is like in shock. Like he does not know what to do. He's like, I've never seen a body before. Yeah. Because this is what I was telling Carlos. It's like this is probably like a super small town, and people don't just get murdered often.
No, but he says that a homicide only happens like maybe once every 2 years.
Yeah, so it's like
maybe
like who knows when was the last time someone was murdered.
So then we see the Airbnb owner like complaining off in the distance, like his wife is gonna kill him. What the fuck is happening? I need my phone. Blah blah blah. And
it's
then
some weird guy too.
Yeah, super weird. He's super weird looking. And then sheriff is giving reporters a statement, and they're asking him like, is this like a serial killer or like
what could it be?
And John is very defensive of his daddy because we don't find out that his dad did, but then we go and find out that the sheriff is his dad. That's why he's super like defensive of him. So yeah, we do find out that he's his dad, and he's very concerned of what could have did this because of how the body was left.
Yeah, it was literally like in pieces.
So they need to find this guy. Then we get Julia questioning the guys from the restaurant because they're also like suspicious because obviously they got into the fight with them.
Exactly. And
then the girlfriend turns up dead. So it's like, did they do it?
Yeah.
And they're being super rude. She's like, do you have any receipts? And I love that he's like, yeah, they're on my phone. I always take pictures of them, but don't swipe left. And I guess she swipes once. He's like, don't swipe left. And I'm like, dude, you got nothing on your phone. You don't get nothing. You ain't getting none, I bet.
He's that type of motherfucker that takes dick pics with his face on
you know what it is? It's one of those guys because he also said the F slur.
Oh,
so he's one of those
grinder.
Yup.
He a grinder.
Yup. He's like, I don't want her to find my grinder receipts. You know what I'm saying? So he had to hide those. He's one of those DL guys that him and his buddy be doing things. I promise. I know. Small town too. There's not much to get around. There's probably one gay guy the whole time.
Him.
And it's him. Yep. So yeah. So then we cut to John Gutierrez, Bo, and Chavez. They're having dinner and they're trying to figure out who and what did this and how did they do it. And everyone's like, it's a wolf, and John's like, it's not a fucking wolf.
Yeah, like,
it's a guy.
Stupid.
But they're not done.
Yeah, it's like he's not wrong.
I can't wait to tell y'all the reveal. It's really funny.
But I do love this scene because it feels like these super unequipped cops dealing with a serious case for once in their lives, and then they don't know what to fucking do. Yeah. And they're like thinking about movies that they've watched, like, oh, maybe it's this or maybe it's that. And John's like, fucking
and that's
stop.
Some of the complaints I see that's like these cops are dumb, and it's like that is the point.
That's the point. They're not used to dealing with this murder. Yes. Like they're not used to that.
Like the clues are clearly in front of them, but they don't know what to do. And Jim Cummings does, if you look at this movie, you have to pay attention because if you see some of the background shots, you can see that the cops are dumb.
Yeah,
it's purposely done.
Yeah, because those motherfuckers give cops way too much credit.
They're small town cops.
Exactly. Like, they're small town. They don't deal with anything. They probably deal with like theft or like someone speeding. Yeah, like that's it. That's all they deal with.
And then in this shot here, we see that they have two suspects on their table, which is Paul Cornery, which is the Airbnb owner, and then the guy from the restaurant that got into the altercation with PJ.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
The altercation guy.
Yeah,
that guy.
Which one?
The black and white picture, baby.
Black and white. That one, Jeremy.
That's
Jeremy.
Jeremy. And then one guy is like, "Oh, you shouldn't have got married." They make fun of each other.
Yeah, because I think the wife works at the place, right? And she like snaps at him
because her cookie's bad or something. Yeah, it's really funny.
And it was like, we told you not to do it. Actually.
Yep. We cut to our next victim, Hannah. Hannah's doing a ski class. And this is another shot of where she's talking to a group, but we don't see the group. It's just her talking to them. Yep. And he's that someone talks back to her, and she goes, "Yep, you're gonna do good. You're gonna do great." Blah blah. Then they're at a dinner.
Where they're like having fun, and then she gets like a text, right, or something, or
no, she sees someone.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
And she makes a concerned face of what the fuck is or who is this looking at me or whatever she's seen, but she looks scared and concerned. So, and I never noticed that the first time. So I'm like, okay, so this guy's around.
Yeah. It's like, but the thing is, we don't see them. They keep that mystery because it's like, he's around, but we don't know. Yeah. We don't know about him.
Yeah. And then to this point, when I first saw it, I was like, I still think it's John. He just doesn't remember.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
It gets debunked later. Like, when it gets debunked, I'm like, okay, so it's not him. So then she's leaving. She's going to see this guy named Josh. So we get a name thrown here. And the other girl's like, why are you gonna go see a guy that treats you like shit? And she's like, don't worry about me because ain't nobody else gonna like me in this town.
Yeah.
So when she's leaving, she gets attacked.
Yeah.
And as she's getting attacked, we cut back and forth with John and his ex-wife, but we'll leave that for a second. So let's talk about the attack.
Yeah, because this has one of the best scenes in the fucking movie.
This is my favorite.
Probably one of the best werewolf shots.
Yes. This is my favorite shot of the film.
Yeah.
Because she gets attacked, she gets her arm ripped off, and then she's backing up, and as she's backing up, it's a long shot, and the werewolf is just standing up in front of her.
Straighten up. Oh, it looks so intimidating.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's like a long shot, and it's just her on the floor with a blood trail.
Yeah.
And he's just like straightening up, and he just looks so fucking cool because he's still in like kind of silhouette.
Yeah.
And like moonlighting, and it looks so good. Like it's so cool.
And if y'all follow me on Twitter on Carlos Warlock, that is my background on my Twitter. That shot.
It's gorgeous. It really
I
is.
love that shot so much. So Jim Cummings, good job.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then as this was happening, because it does a lot of cutting back and forth between John and his ex-wife. So John is at lunch or something with his ex-wife the next day.
I love this.
And he does not like her.
I just love he don't know like anybody.
No, and his daughter's there too. And I love that when he sits, he goes, "Hey Jenna." Anyways, it completely ignores her, and it's so funny. And then she's giving him shit, and the sound design here, because you hear the coffee maker going,
like the kettle while he's getting upset
because she's saying something, and he's trying to not blow off on her, and then when it goes off, he goes.
It's so good. It's like really like a kind of like a slapstick comedy.
Yeah,
but it's so good because it's like super subtle. It's not like super crazy, and I love that. I love that little details in the comedy, in the sense of humor.
And then the reason he asked for his daughter is because he's scared that she could get attacked. So he's like, I want her to be at my house where she could be safe. But I love this because it's like, I am gonna be working overtime at night, so I might not be home a lot. And that's like, motherfucker, then what is the point of her being at home?
Yeah, she could just stay with her mama.
Yeah. But then Bo walks in, another cop, and he goes, John, and John looks back and goes, oh, because he knows what happened.
So they go and see the crime scene.
This is when we get John at full unhinged.
Bro, this is such a great scene because you can totally be like, yep, that's me. That is me sometimes at work.
So at this crime scene, John is going back and forth, losing his shit. Everyone's talking to him at once. Bo and Gutierrez are like, it's a wolf. They're saying it's a wolf, something bigger, could be a bear. And John's like, it's not a fucking wolf, it's a person.
Yeah.
And then we have the reporter show up, and he's like, no, y'all need to leave. Go park somewhere by Elm Street.
Yep.
And then Julia's trying to tell him something, and everyone's just talking to him.
And this is like the first time he's tackling on because the sheriff's not around anymore.
Yeah, because he's trying to keep his dad just in office because his dad doesn't seem to be well.
Yeah, he's getting older, obviously, so he's just staying back. So he's in charge, and he cannot. He's like, I can't. Where he's like, stop! Everyone, stop talking to me at the same time.
I know that feeling. So I love that. Then one of the guys is like, "It's a wolf," and then he like gets quiet and like takes a breather, and behind him is the police, not the police, the news reporters, and you see their window going up because they heard what the guy would just said, and he goes, "Bo, let me see you back here."
It starts throwing hands with him, like he's so over it.
I love it because he's like, Bo's like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he goes, and it for like 2 seconds he just looks at him, and then, bah.
And then he start fighting. He's like, please stop it.
He's like, shut up. And then he's leaving, and he's yelling at Julia. He's yelling at Chavez. And then we do get Hannah's funeral where I think he gets yelled at by someone, someone from her family.
It was, I think, the husband.
It could have
been the husband or the dad or something. It was an older man.
Then John starts drinking again. We see that he has a hidden liquor bottle at his house. And then the next day, Julia is he's seen the news because they keep talking about the wolf. Yeah, now it's a wolf.
He's like, fucking
that's not what he wanted. And I do love this scene because this is another thing that I love about this movie. They show us a character, and then the next scene we see something with this person. We see this guy's like, oh, if these keep happening, I'm not paying for taxes in this town. Yeah. Cut to the next day. He's putting up a sign talking about the murder that happened. And Julia's like, hey, can you take that down? That's a little like insensitive. I don't want people to see this. He's like, no, I can't take that down. And the store owner won't let me. And she goes, hey, damn, those tags are expired. That's a shame. And he goes, I think I can take it down. It's like the same motherfucker that didn't want to pay taxes don't even pay for his tags.
That's so funny.
And then she says hi to Carla, who we don't see yet. We meet later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then we John comes in office, Bo's face fucked up,
and they have a gift basket.
He gave him a gift basket. I guess like I'm sorry, and then John's like, Bo, you fired. Like, get out.
He's like, damn, this is really cute. It's such a shame you're not working here no more. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, before he leaves, he's like, oh, by the way, you can work for WikiLeaks if you want to. I think they're hiring. Yeah. And he starts screaming and throwing shit around while he's leaving.
Such a dick. He's unlikable, but it's like he's supposed to be. And but it's like kind of fun to watch.
Exactly. It's like he's not a good guy technically. He's just trying to do his job. That's it.
Everyone still believes in some type of animal. John does not want to believe that whatsoever.
And I do love that is this world. It's like, really, a fucking werewolf. Like that's what we're coming to.
Yeah, and then fucking. The sheriff leaves and he's like, John, you need to like chill out. These people are your team. You need to work with them instead of being like this. And then Julia throws out evidence.
Yeah.
They established that there was hair from a pit bull, but she had a dog. But they also found no human evidence whatsoever of another body. They did find hairs of a gray wolf.
Yeah. And they were showing all the wounds and everything, and they said it was much bigger than a normal wolf, right?
Yes, and that from the first body he took the vajayjay, and then from the next body he took the head.
Yeah. So, damn, he got head and damn.
Anyway, so we cut to John coming to see his daughter, be like, hey, do you still got that pepper spray I gave you a few years ago? Because you might need it. But she's like, why would I need it for? He's like, you won't need it, but just in case you need it. And then he's like, oh, you also know how you dress? And she goes, how do I dress? And he goes,
perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable. And he looks away, and it's just super awkward.
It's like the most awkward conversation, not natural at all.
No.
And she's just kind of like, can you just have a normal conversation?
Yeah. So funny. So then we cut to John and Julia, and they aren't able to go outside. They're heading somewhere, but then a beer bottle gets thrown at their car.
Yeah,
and it's super random.
We don't get to see who it was. No, they just come outside,
and we do find out later though, which is like, super random too.
I don't know. I don't think that scene should have been there, to be honest, but. Because I don't think he just looks off into the forest and then it just cuts.
It cuts. But the point of this scene was to tell us that they aren't able to get outside help because he would have to file paperwork and it might take a while. And then where the murders are happening, the FBI can't really get involved because it's still out of the red
district.
Thank you. And so they're basically on this. They're alone on this.
Yeah,
is what the scene was meant for. And then the beer bottle was like a jump scare.
Okay, yeah, that shit fucking got me.
Because then after that beer bottle happens, we cut to a guy where we don't see his face ever, but he's just doing drugs.
Yeah,
inside of a trailer, and this guy's super ominous, kind of buff, kind of sexy though. The real ominous part of it, not the doing crack part. But I was like, okay, so maybe this is our wolf.
Oh, I'm trying to.
You're not a boss ass bitch. You're nothing but a trashy hoe.
Okay, I guess I'm both. I don't know. Sorry, but so then Julia and John come to see PJ to return some evidence. He's super upset about it. He didn't want it. They're still kind of questioning him, and he's upset that he's like, I don't know what else to tell you. I told you everything. I didn't do it.
I've done it 25 fucking times. We was like, went to cabin, went to eat, went back. She was fucking dead. Yep. Like, leave me alone.
Yep.
Please. Like, I don't want to fucking do this. And he's very affected by this.
Yeah.
And immediately they're like, okay, well, we just want to drop off the evidence. We don't need it anymore. And he starts crying. Like, he's just like, stop. And the mom steps in, and then he starts crying to the mom. And I was like, oh, fuck, bro, that sucks.
It's really sad. But he does tell John, like, hey, when you catch this guy, just don't even put him in jail. Just fucking kill him on the spot.
He's like, shoot him in the head until his head is buried on the ground.
Yep. So then our next victim is Liz. She's at a restaurant with her daughter where she is eating, and she is visited by a stranger who we don't see at all. Which the thing is, if you pay attention to some characters in this movie, the voice is what should give it away for you.
Immediately, because this person, we've seen him multiple times in the movie.
Yeah, as of now, we've only seen him once.
Twice.
We've seen him. Well, I don't want to give it away just yet.
No. Isn't like when they start interviewing everybody?
Right after this.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So he starts making her feel uncomfortable because he keeps asking her questions, but then he mentions her car, and she's like, how do you know my car?
Yeah,
that's where it gets kind of weird. So she excuses herself.
It's so creepy.
She excuses herself, and as she's walking to say that she's gonna complain about her food, you see the person walk behind her, super tall person, and she wants to call the cops because she's weirded out. So while she's in questioning, we get a montage of a lot of townies getting questioned.
And they're all still just saying that they know who this person is. Yeah,
that they know who it is. There's the Airbnb guy saying that he wants to call his wife. That what the fuck? Why is he being questioned?
There's a sex worker.
There's Jeremy again from the altercation,
and of course Liz from the bar. Yeah. And she's the only one that kind of has like an idea. She's like, it was this super slim, tall guy, really weird, creepy, but I couldn't see his face because he had it hooded up.
And then she also doesn't help them with the age because she goes late 20s to early 50s, and I'm like, that's a big range, and there's no way you look that good for 30 years. But honey, if I do, thank you.
For so real, like it's like that's a big ass range.
Obviously, they don't really have much to go out of this. And then if she leaves, they have a line outside, and the next guy's like, "Oh, I know who did it." And Julia's like, "Yeah, great, come on in, let's hear about it." Yeah. Like they already know they're not gonna get much.
Yeah, because it's like it's how useful like those eyewitnesses are. It's like everyone's gonna believe that they saw the person.
Yeah. So John catches his father being checked by a doctor, where now he finds out his dad has a heart murmur, which John is so fucking pissed about because he wants his dad to take care of himself, and his dad just won't. He's really hard-headed.
He's just a man. Just like fucking can't take care of himself.
Yeah, I get it.
But I do love the dad. He's like, he's not even a real doctor.
Yeah.
Like, he's just trying to downplay it as much as possible.
And John is very worried. Like, John even starts tearing up. He's just worried about his dad. Like, he just wants his dad to just retire and like take care of himself, and he just won't.
Yeah.
We cut to another beautiful full moon where Liz stops her car on her way home because there's a dead deer on the road. When she checks this, she gets out of the car, I guess, to see if she can go around or whatever she was trying to do.
Or just to move it or something.
The deer has a handprint on the thigh, clear big ass handprint, and she hears some creaking. When she turns around, the wolf is right next to the car. Fucking huge. And I love this shot. This is so another great shot, and it's very scary.
Because it's just all in silhouette, but he's so fucking tall that is so intimidating. It's so cool.
She does get attacked. She dies. And obviously,
this one I think is cut like it goes because the funeral's happening while the murder. They're showing us the murder.
But I love the cut in this one because when she gets attacked, starts screaming. Yeah, it cuts to John looking at her body screaming.
Yeah, it's like it's already we're seeing the outcome of how it's playing out.
Yep.
But oh my god, the craziest shot is that they're at the funeral and it pans to like her casket and then it just keeps going and the daughters.
You see that the baby was murdered too.
Oh my god, it's like a smaller casket next to hers. I was like, oh jeez.
That was a very dark funeral.
Super.
And we also cut to Jim saying, "Hey, this is where another was like, this motherfucker does know," because he's like, or he's just very smart. He's like, that deer had a handprint and it was cut out because they also show us that the handprint is gone because someone cut out where it was, the skin, like very Leatherface.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. So do you remember what you're doing and you're acting like you don't? you maybe feel like you know what you're doing, and that's why you know that exactly was a handprint there. Because then Gutierrez like, how the fuck did you know there was a handprint there?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to know. Like, I take it as like he just watched a lot of crimes movies, and then or shows, and then he's just like, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
like, why would they do that?
But then we cut to John at home after this crime scene. Because this is when he yells at Gutierrez, like, do your job. Do your job.
Just do it. That's it. Just fucking do it.
They're trying, but you're also being an asshole. Like,
I fucking love him.
So, John drinks like half a fucking bottle of mouthwash, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, and that's the dark side of the alcoholism is that just any bit of alcohol, they'll just drink it. There's like videos of people like drinking hand sanitizer.
That's disgusting.
Which but it's like they can't fucking help themselves.
That's disgusting. We cut to where he passes. He passes out in the kitchen. He falls on the oven door and it breaks. We cut to our red herring where he's burning a body, and we see that he's also tall, muscular, buff again,
and he has a werewolf tattoo, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is like, so maybe this is the guy.
No, I think he's just Team Jacob. I think that's what it is.
I was too. Then John is at the library doing some research on werewolves because now he's kind of like, okay,
it might
maybe.
Might be.
Yeah. And it's another montage of him doing the research. We see that he has a book of taxidermy by Paul Carnieri. Yeah, which means carnivore from what I found out. And it's just a whole montage, and it's him at the funerals kind of figuring out what's happening. And there's a jump scare of the wolf in front of him where he gets woken up by Ray the librarian. He goes, "Oh fuck!
Oh, fuck you!" I fucking love how he says it. It's so good. And he's like, "Hey, someone was trying to get to you at the walkie-talkie."
Yeah.
And I love that right before he leaves, he's like, "Hey, next time, I mean, I'm thankful you did it to me, but next time there's a cop that tells you to show you all these dead bodies,
all the spooky books,
don't fucking just scare him like that, because he'll shoot you and then you'll be dead."
Yeah, that could have been you, Ray, but I'm not that guy.
But thank you. And he leaves.
That's one of my favorite reactions from is the, "Oh, fuck you."
Fuck you, bro. So good.
So John and Julia go to Liz's job where she had a voicemail from a creepy guy asking her some questions. I didn't catch them.
Yeah, he was like, I need more toner. I need more toner.
So they're like, "Oh, this has to be the guy." So they take the whole phone.
Yeah, it's like, thank you. And
I was like, y'all can just save him like that?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
So then sorry. I think time passed here.
Yeah, there's some time jumps between them.
They figure out that where the phone calls are coming from. That's why they took the phone, I guess. And they go to where it is. It's a payphone outside. Yeah. So they're like, "Oh, we can get fingerprints. We got it. No fingerprints on this phone." The guy is super smart, whoever's doing this. Of course. And this is when this is another scene where he tells Chavez to do his job. He yells at him again.
Poor Chavez. He's just trying.
Oh no, Chavez this time. The other one was Gutierrez.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I guess the same night or next night, they get the whole police force gets ready. They're all going to be waiting for a call. They're going to be ready for the wolf this time, or whoever's doing this. And he tells Carla to get an ambulance for his dad because his dad here starts getting weaker. Yeah. And he starts getting really sad. And he's like, "I can't do it. Can you please do it?"
And he retired him. He was like, "You're retired. You're done. I can't do this anymore." Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's hard. It's a hard situation to be with. He doesn't have it easy. No, like he does not. He's been put through a lot right now.
So you know that Robert Forster, if I remember correctly, Jim Cummings didn't think he was gonna take the role.
Really?
But Robert took the role because he thought it would be a great drama between father and son movie.
Oh, yeah, well, that's not what.
I mean, kind of.
It kind of is, but not to that extent, I guess. It's very subtly one.
Mm-hmm. So then we cut to John's daughter Jenna, who is sending. He's
FaceTiming her man.
Yeah, and I guess she showed him a little skin, and she's like,
nothing but a trashy hoe.
I mean,
hormones are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But
I love that she's like. She shows him some skin because at first he's like, "Oh, I don't think we should meet up right now," and she shows him some skin. And he's like, yeah.
Oh my God, she's a complete slut.
And then she goes, yeah. He goes, yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick you up right now.
Yeah, and she goes, I love you. And I was like, oh, cartoons. So then, they're getting it in.
Yeah. In the car, in the middle of fucking...
in the middle of a road.
Yep.
Where they see a lady that sees them. So the boyfriend, Brock, gets nervous. He's like, hey, this lady sees us. We need to leave. And she's like, what do you mean? And when Jenna sees the lady's pointing at something and they get attacked by the wolf. So the wolf hits the car and it fucking tilts it a little bit.
Yeah, and it scratches at the window.
I love that shot too. The way it does the scratch at the window, fucking love it. John gets the call, answers it. John shows up, shoots at the wolf. The wolf runs. I will say I have a theory about this scene later.
Okay.
But this is where it got debunked for me that it's not him.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, now we see them both in the same place. But I do love this shot because like he's shooting at it, it escapes, but then you see Jenna on the floor, and then he's like, oh, you need to go home, blah, blah. And she's like, you're not going to fucking ask me if I'm okay? He's like, no, you're supposed to be home.
He starts yelling at her. And I was like, honestly... He's right.
She deserves it.
Yeah.
And I love that she was appalled because she was literally like, oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. But this is why I don't like you. This is why I don't want to live with you.
Yeah,
fuck you, Dad. But
I love that also that he's not that worried about her because for good reason. She should have been home. But he also goes, you know how much shit your mom's going to talk about me?
Yeah. But this is another scene where the sound design is great and you see that he's failing at being a cop. Because obviously now his daughter's in the way. But then you hear that Gutierrez is on pursuit. And as his daughter gets in the car, you hear gunshots, and then you hear the howl. Yep. And then we cut to Gutierrez dead in a trash can.
He got motherfucking murdered.
So John failed at trying to, because he was probably the closest to help Gutierrez.
Yep.
And even if
he needed backup.
Exactly. Jenna at the hospital. She's in the same room as her grandfather. I do love this scene because John, takes her phone and while she's sleeping, does her fingerprint. And then I guess he sees what she was sending the boyfriend. So cut to the boyfriend's house and he just barges in the house, like just breaks in because he just barges his room, just beating his ass. And the mom is like, what the fuck? She thinks it's a thief.
She's like trying to beat his ass, steps on his face and everything. Yeah. Pepper sprays both him and the son.
Yep.
But then when he takes his mask off,
she realizes who it is and she's like,
what the fuck you do?
What did you do to her? What did you do to her?
I love how fucking fat she was that she switched. And he starts pouring milk just all over his face.
Yep. And then as he walks off, he cuts back into the hospital where Jenna's like, Dad, and then if you notice, the grandfather is gone because he passed and he wasn't there for that.
And I do love that they weren't like, Dad, Grandpa's gone. Like, he was just like, no, Dad. And then you immediately know that he's like, oh, shit. Yep. Like, he just gives you a look, the camera pans to the bed, and then back to him.
But he starts drinking hardcore now.
This is where he spirals completely.
He's not invited to the AA meeting anymore.
Yep.
He punches his tooth out on X. I don't know if he really did it in real life.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then he kept that in the movie because he punches himself, and you see him walking when he punches himself. And then I guess he crashes the car. And I do like that because Jenna's like, are you okay? Because she comes home and she's like, are you okay? Did you crash the car? He's like, I didn't crash the car. The light went off and then I hit a pole and the air bag hit me. And it's like,
and then it went full speed and broke the pole.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so you did. Yeah.
But this is a really emotional scene.
Yeah, it goes very comedic and then it gets really emotional.
Really dark. Because it's like, the daughter, as much as she fucking hates him, she still loves him. Like, it's like she's trying to drag his ass upstairs and he's just like, just leave me right here. I need to nap. I need a break real quick. Yeah. And it's kind of funny, but then he's in bed crying and he's like, I wasn't there for him. I just want to prove him right. And she's crying like, you need to go to sleep. You're going to feel better in the morning.
You're scaring
Please,
me.
You're scaring. And I was like, bro, oh my gosh, so tough.
Yeah.
Tough to sit through.
We cut to the hot stranger crackhead dude that overdoses and I guess and just dies randomly. So and then we see that he has a wolf in he owned a wolf that was gray. So it's like, oh,
so
this is the guy and that's it. So we cut to the corners.
Yeah, and they grab him. They're like, we got the guy. This is him. 6'5".
Jack. John throws his drink away because he's like, well, I'm gonna stop drinking. We found him.
Problem solved.
Yeah. So he fires Gary.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's such a crazy way.
Yeah, because Gary's like, oh, y'all are just all stupid. This guy is 6'5", wolf tattoo, fits the description. All this at his house, and my 5-year-old daughter could have solved this.
He said, y'all thought it was a werewolf.
Yeah, and then John's like, you're fired. Your daughter's not gonna have any more friends in this county.
Like he's just like, oh, and he's like, oh, and don't you know? I know you threw the fucking bottle too.
Yup.
He's just in shock. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yup. So he fires Gary. Then John and Julia, we do have a little bit of a montage where they're returning. Well, John is returning evidence, but Julia's the one dropping him off. Mm-hmm. She has a scene where she's putting away evidence, and she sees the pages that he printed out from the library. It has a seamer,
a seam.
What are they called?
Seam needle?
Yeah, they basically break through the seams, obviously. And then she finds thread, and she finds that kind of weird.
Yeah, because like that's so random.
Yep. As John is returning evidence to all the different victims, some of them are very upset.
They're spitting on his face.
One spits on his face, which is the one with the baby. Mm-hmm. Then John at AA is having a heart out at AA. He's he's working on himself.
Yeah.
And then
PJ calls Julia and tells him, hey, you guys left something. Can I just ship it or whatever?
And she said, what? And he said it was a seam repeater or a seam reaper.
Yeah, seam rippers. Yeah, so just to rip the seams out of something. So it's like this little thing, and she instantly, bloop, she figures something out.
Leaves. So she figured out something. Then John is at Paul's house. That we find out he's a taxidermy because it says it in front of his house. Paul Canary's taxidermy, where he invites him in. Paul invites him in because he wants to know, hey, how was it to catch the guy? What happened?
Yeah, he's just curious.
Yep. John is like, oh, something. John mentions his wife, and then Paul's like, well, I'm divorced. She couldn't hack it. So it makes me think he killed her. Then he asks him about his daughter, and John kind of goes, yeah, and
I have to go.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to him outside just with like a cup of coffee, and then he goes back in and tells him, hey, sorry, you just asked me something, and it kind of made me realize something. Can you stand up for me like full height? And this motherfucker tall.
The first time I saw this, I was like, oh, he's the wolf, because this motherfucker tall as fuck. So,
and I love that he doesn't go like, oh shit, he's just like, yep.
Yeah, he just yep.
Yep.
And the guy shuts the door, and John rushes out the door. So when I found this out, I was like, oh, so this makes sense.
He's just a fucking werewolf.
Yeah, because the book he was reading about taxidermy was his.
Yep.
This house is his. The seam ripper, his. He's the owner of the Airbnb where there was no utensils or knives, so obviously no one could defend himself when he killed them.
Yep.
Another clue. He doesn't have a wife. He's divorced.
In the whole movie, he's been saying, my wife is going to kill me. Mm-hmm. My wife is going to kill me 3 times, I think he said.
And then it makes me think that he killed the wife and she's gone, disappeared.
Maybe. Or he was just lying just to put a face out there.
Yeah. And then if you look at the funerals, if you pay attention in the back blurred, you can see him, and he gets closer in every funeral, kind of like you're getting closer to the killer metaphor, which I found very interesting. Mm-hmm. So this is where it gets very interesting.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, this motherfucker just turns into a werewolf and kills motherfuckers.
So they start fighting inside the house.
And John gets stabbed.
Mm-hmm. And then John is crawling super. I love how dramatic this is.
He's just,
like he got real stabbed. And then as John sees outside, he goes to walk outside and see maybe he follows them. And when he gets slapped, you're thinking you're gonna see a wolf, but this fucker pulled a fucking Scooby-Doo, and he's just a man in a wolf costume. And I don't know about y'all and whoever watches this movie, but I loved it. I was like,
awesome.
I thought I was gonna be very disappointed. I thought about it. I was like, am I disappointed that it's not a real wolf? But no, I'm not. I find it very interesting that it's like that it's just a guy in a wolf costume.
Yeah, like that shit was so cool. I always call it like a reverse reveal, because it's like, oh, it's not revealed that he's a werewolf. It's like the opposite of it, where it's like, no, he's just faking that he's a werewolf.
The whole time, all John had to do was call the Scooby-Doo gang. the whole time.
Yeah, but no, he was too busy yelling at fucking Chavez.
So I love that he doesn't have the mask, the wolf mask here, and he just has the body, and the full moon is behind him, and he just screams at John, and it's like, okay, motherfucker, you roll into cosplay. But then also when the handprint gets taken out of the deer earlier, it makes sense that this guy knows taxidermy. The way he's been taking body parts, it's like, oh, this makes sense because people that do this know how to cut up bodies or do whatever they do.
Yeah, or they could know how to cut up bodies. I mean, obviously
with animals, I mean,
it's like there's a correlation, and then the hints of like how you said, like the knives, people can't defend themselves. Like it's just like little subtle things.
He was in front of you the whole time.
Exactly, he was literally hiding in plain sight, but they were too busy. They were just incompetent.
Yeah, and that's why I love this movie. It's so rewatchable because there's always something new that I catch.
Yeah.
I've logged it 7 times on my letterbox. Just saying. So yeah, then they run outside. Jim gets attacked again by him. They're fighting. Julia shoots the guy. Jim gets up, and because he gets distracted by the fireworks. Happy New Year. Yep. It is a New Year's movie, y'all.
Hey, Happy New Year.
So then fucking John goes ahead and shoots him in the face and just kills him.
I fucked that bitch up.
Which goes back to what he promised PJ, or what PJ asked him to do.
Yeah, don't arrest him, just shoot his ass.
Yep, and then
he just looks at Julia. Julia says, "Are you okay?" And he just like kind of smiles while there's like New Year's Eve music.
He feels relieved that he caught the guy.
Yep.
And I feel like now he has closure with he feels like he might have closure with his father, with everything.
He's okay with himself.
Yeah, this is what he wanted. So we cut to I guess a few weeks later where his daughter's in college, and we know that she was starting college in January. Another hint that it was a New Year's movie. And she's in the gymnastics team. He leaves her a present. We don't know what it is. And then it's theorized to say that he left her the grandfather's gun.
Yeah, because he said, I left you some protection in the top drawer. I don't know if you want to talk about it. And she's like, please leave, bye. Yeah. But when she looks, she has a pair of condoms. But then when she looks underneath, there's something, but we don't know what it is.
But then as he's walking out of the school, he's fixing his belt, which is the theory of like, oh, he left her the grandfather's gun.
Yeah.
So
they might be.
Yeah, because then some boys, and this is another thing, some boys walk by and they're like, oh, the new gymnastic girls are in and they're babes. He stops. Yeah. But he doesn't do anything. He just keeps walking because he knows his daughter will be okay.
Yeah, he'll be okay. It's like, I like to think it's like the New Year's could represent like he finished his case, so he has a new beginning. And it's like now he's at a different stage of his life with his daughter being in college. Yep. He's learned that she can be okay. Like he doesn't have to be overbearing.
And Julia, being the smartest cop poly on the team, she did get promoted to sheriff now.
Let's go, queen.
He might not be in the force anymore.
That's what I got, because I usually he killed that person, and usually that's like a no. But
I mean, that person stabbed him.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like sometimes they send them on leave because it's like for a psychological kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, that could be it.
And also he probably just like, you know what, new beginnings. I'm doing something brand new. I'm done with this.
Yeah, that's true.
I got the I had closure. I had finished with this. Made father happy. I'm out.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends with in memory of Robert Forster for his passing, and that's the Wolf of Snow Hollow.
That is the Wolf of Snow Hollow.
There
we go. It's a fantastic movie, but like what we do with every movie, we go to Letterboxd and find a good or a bad review and see something that we like or something we want to share with you guys.
Yes.
Do you want to start with yours?
Sure. Do I have it? I have it. Sorry, y'all. Tired again. So my 5-star review is kind of long. And it's not my 5-star review. I did write one, but it's not mine.
Okay.
Even though the werewolf takes a backseat plot wise, it's still the most werewolf film I've seen in a long time. Maybe the ending won't tickle most people, but the werewolf scenes are so well done it makes up for the tenfold. Personally, I love the reveal. The character study is icing on the cake. Robert Forster also steals every scene he's in. Yeah. In my opinion, the best werewolf comedy since An American Werewolf in London.
Okay. Yeah, that is sort of like half of it is a comedy.
My favorite other werewolf movie.
Hell yeah, baby. Yeah, that's a good one. You don't have a bad one? Oh,
I do. Okay. It's whatever. My 1-star review is Jim Cummings seems dope, but I hated this.
Jesus. It was like for no reason. Like the hate is like, oh, it's Jim Cummings. I hate it. And I'm like, what the hell? What'd he do?
I like him.
What'd he do? All right, so my 5-star review says, "Why did he take the part? Why did he take? Why? Bro, I'm tired. Whoa,
it's like 2 in the morning. Forgive us."
Okay, why did he take the parts of her to eat them? I don't know. To make a flashlight out of them? I don't know.
Oh, that's a line in the movie.
That's a line of the movie.
Because when he takes the underpart of Jed, he's like, John says, "Oh, he probably took it to make a flashlight." And I was like, oh,
Jesus. Jim Cummings, please make 50 more movies. You can play a cop dad in all of them. I don't care.
Yes, because also his previous movie, he's a cop.
Yeah, Thunder
Road.
Thunder Road, yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I mean, if he's in it,
I'll see it.
And then my 1 star, it says, "I wanted to be a werewolf so bad as a kid. That dream is nothing more than a fairy tale now. This movie is an assault to the eyes, ears, and asshole." I'm gonna tell you something.
That's the one I almost picked.
Really? Your dream of being a werewolf was always a fairy tale. Just saying.
It's not gonna happen.
And you're fine. You'll be okay.
I do want to be a werewolf too.
You are.
I know I am. I'm pretty warm naturally. I could grow the hair. And I mean, look at me.
I mean, I'll be showing your feet.
Oh, that's true. Look at you.
For the YouTube viewers, you got werewolf feet.
I sure do.
But yeah, I mean, I saw the hate that this movie got on.
I didn't like it. Usually I can laugh at it. I'm like,
they were being like so mean. It's like, oh, Jim Cummings, yeah, he sucks. I'm like, damn.
No, I love this movie. Jim Cummings, if you ever listen or hear this episode, I would love to meet you or interview you or something.
Yeah, bro. Give us just like 30 minutes, bro.
HorrorDaddies.com. We don't have a website, so horrordaddies@gmail.com.
Yeah, please, thank you. Reach out. Then favorite kill in this movie. There's not really kills. I would say werewolf shot.
It has to be the one of it standing up.
Which one?
The long shot of it.
Yeah.
The girl crawling away and he's just standing up really big and like really menacing.
That one's I like that one, but for me, I think I like the second one when he's next to the car.
That was very unsettling too.
She's looking around and he's not there, and then suddenly he's there. He's just standing, staring, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" I would freak the fuck out.
Yeah,
if I saw
that's
that.
a good one too.
Yeah, that's a good one. Daddy of the movie,
Jim Cummings.
Jim Cummings, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, how much did you give this movie?
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Okay, that's a pretty good.
Yep.
I give it a 4
with a heart on the side of review and 7 rewatches.
Yeah,
far.
Yeah, he loves this fucking movie.
I love this movie,
but I give it a 4. Like, I think it's really, really fucking good. I really did enjoy everything. Yeah, but I want to see something similar to this, even scarier. I would say go full scary mode in a movie just like this, and I think it would be fucking fantastic.
I really love werewolf movies. They're one of my favorites. I haven't seen a lot of them, but the ones that I've seen I really like. I did see one the other day with Jason Momoa, and that was trash. I'm sorry.
Oh wow, what a surprise!
So bad
With Jason Momoa.
I was so upset. I was like, why did they make this?
What movie was it?
Fuck.
You even forgot about it.
I forgot the name. I just know that he's in it and I thought he was gonna be a bigger part, and he really wasn't. And I'm like, I don't know. It was just very I will say, I will give it some credit. The wolf costumes are cool because they were actual wolf costumes, but they were more human-like wolves, which is not it's not the problem. The problem is just the movie is just bad.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm not gonna remember the
That's
name.
okay.
It's fine. It's just something werewolf. It's like full. I don't know. Anyway,
that's okay. But that is it for our episode. I want to say thank you for y'all. I hope Santa Claus was very good to y'all.
Yes.
And treats you very good. I hope you achieve all your achievements for next year.
Sorry, bitch.
It's called Wolves.
The movie's just called Wolves.
That's, it's bad. The movie's just Wolves.
And I couldn't even remember that.
Oh, Jesus.
But the wolf designs are kind of cool.
That's kinda
yeah,
dope.
it's just I didn't like the plot and stuff. Anyways.
But I hope you get a fantastic 2023. I hope you solve all your problems. Everything's good to you. You still listen to us and show us some love.
Please.
Because we really do appreciate it. And what are we watching next year?
So we're starting off January, and okay. So for January, it might be
tentative.
Yeah, but the plan is the Universal Monsters. So next week we're gonna start off with Frankenstein and move our way. Then I think we're doing the Wolfman, and then Dracula, and then we haven't picked the fourth one. It could be any of the other ones.
And next next month we're gonna have some faces showing up in the podcast. Yeah, so that'd be fun.
We're gonna have a guest for the Wolfman. We might have an episode on Megan. So
we'll see.
Yeah,
because I really want to see it.
Me too. If we're able to go see it, we'll have an episode on that. But yeah, January is just gonna be the Universal Monsters.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. And like I said, thank you so much, guys. And please leave a like, comment, share with your friends, share with your family, everybody.
Share with your pets.
Exactly, they'll watch it.
With your dolls.
Exactly. Look, like that one over there.
This one, the head.
The head. But thank you so much.
And remember,
Malignant. Always, baby. Stay spooky and stay sexy.
See you in your dreams.